And we are live with another fantastic episode of, well, this isn't a BS Busters. It's not really. It's more of
A
BS
birthday
Busters. Well, it's a birthday podcast combined with a BS Busters mini. So it's the best of both worlds. So happy birthday!
Thank you.
How's it going?
Doing fine. I just feel a bit full right now because I just ate, and I haven't gotten to the cake yet because it hasn't arrived yet.
Is it a traditional cake or an ice cream cake?
Ice cream cake.
Those are like the best. The only thing is when you get those cheap ones, and they're good, but it's just a bitch to cut them.
Yeah. Once you put them in a refrigerator and a day later, they become harder to cut through.
Yeah, and you got to eat them the day of, or they just whatever.
Originally, I was gonna get a traditional cake from Costco, but knowing how big it's gonna be, I just go with the ice cream cake instead, since those are much smaller.
Yeah, but yeah, it's your birthday, so I guess we'll party like it's your birthday. I guess we can start with I guess I'll start with a joke. All right.
Okay.
Here's a joke. It's a little dirty, but you'll enjoy it. Okay, so two guys are out hunting in the woods, and one of them gets in his sleeping bag, and by some reason a rattlesnake is in his sleeping bag, and it bites him on the vital organ, on the tip. And his friend's like, "Oh my God! Look, I'm gonna go get you a doctor, but be calm, don't move, because if you move, it'll make the venom go faster through your body and it'll kill you." So the guy runs away. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to town and see the doctor." He runs through bushes, around trees, jumps over creeks, 4 miles, and makes it into town. He's breathing heavy. He's like, Doc, my friend's been bitten by a rattlesnake." The doctor's like, "Well, I'm swamped with emergencies here in town. But I tell you what you do. Take this knife and cut 2 slits where he was bit and suck out the poison." So the guy runs back, through bushes, around trees, jumping over creeks, and makes it to his friend. He's like, "I've got good news and I've got bad news." And he says, "Well, give me the good news first." "Good news is I found a doctor." It's like, "What's the bad news?" "The bad news is you're going to die."
I take it that the rattlesnake bit him in the penis.
Yeah, that's the joke, is that he got bitten in the penis, and he's just not going to be able to. Like, he's like, "I could save you, but I'm not sucking out the poison." So there you go. Yeah, that's one of the
one of the dirty jokes you have available.
Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes you just want things to be a little light. I guess we can get to this Nintendo news.
Oh yes, the recent financial reports.
Yeah, basically, a lot of their games have been selling really well. Breath of the Wild sold well. Mario Odyssey sold well. Like, Mario Odyssey is the highest selling game on the system thus far, which isn't surprising because, people really fucking like Mario. Like, Mario's a system seller. Always has been. So, yeah.
And ARMS has reached 2 million units, which is amazing for a fighting game because no new IP fighting game has ever reached that many units before.
Well, they did. Like Mortal Kombat did, Killer Instinct did. That's about it. I think the original Street Fighter didn't do that.
No big name, no fighting game that isn't a big name title like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter has reached that many units before. I don't think Guilty Gear or BlazBlue has reached that many sales yet.
Smash Brothers.
It can be argued that it's not a traditional fighting game.
Neither is Arms. So, I mean, the point is that for a new IP, it sold okay. It sold, if you go by the metrics of, because I mean, the thing is that like back in the day, if you sold over 1 million units, that was considered a success. Nowadays, there are games that sell 5 million units, and people are like it's a failure. But I guess by normal, like for me, Arms is not a AAA game. Like I don't think they spent $100 million to make that game. So I think 2 million sales is a success. If it was Breath of the Wild, that probably would be a failure, or at least not as successful as it should be. But considering it being a new IP with not a lot of name recognition or brand recognition, pretty good. Me guess. I don't know. I don't.
And Donkey Kong the Switch version of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is also around 1 million, so it didn't reach the same amount of unit sales as Mario Kart 8. Despite being a port from the Wii U.
I think, here's the thing: Donkey Kong Country. I think they waited too long to make a sequel to the original Donkey Kong Country Returns. Because you have to remember, when Donkey Kong Country originally came out, they released those games within 6 years, within 4 or 5 years of each other. You had Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, Donkey Kong Country 3 within 3 or 4 years. Whereas Donkey Kong Country Returns came out in the middle of the Wii's life cycle. And then they did a re-release for the 3DS when the 3DS launched, maybe 2 or 3 years into that thing's life cycle.
And then near the end, we had Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Well, I'd say halfway through the life cycle of the Wii U, you had Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. There was a 7-year gap. Well, not 7, 6-year gap between games. And you can't have a successful franchise that's a platformer, and have 6 years between games. That doesn't really.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, there's very few IPs that can handle that type of dormancy.
Like the new Super Mario Brothers series, because I remember Nintendo stating that there's only one new Super Mario Brothers title per Nintendo system. One for the DS, one for the Wii, one for the 3DS, and one for the Wii U. So I'm expecting a new one coming out for the Switch, and that'll be it.
I hope they do. I hope they do, because I mean, like I said, I like Mario Odyssey, but it's a fun 3D open world Mario game, but the platforming isn't nearly as tight as a 2D Mario game. And for me, when I play Mario, I want
2D platforming tightness.
Well, I want platforming tightness, and the sad thing is that the 3D game just doesn't really have it. So, because the greatest enemy in a 3D platformer isn't the enemies, it's the camera. Which, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. The best 3D camera I've seen in a Mario game thus far was in 3D World. That was a really good camera. For 3D platforming.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's placed on a fixed camera position.
Well, generally speaking, for most of the levels, it was a fixed camera, but it's still. I mean, that was one of my few gripes with Mario Odyssey, was just that the camera was just. I mean, it was better than Mario Sunshine. No, Sunshine. Galaxy had a pretty good camera actually, because of the way the levels were designed. You really didn't have to worry about camera stuff that much.
The games were the Galaxy games were more linear than your traditional 3D Mario games.
Exactly, but Mario Sunshine had a shitty camera. I mean, God damn.
Continuing on with the Mario talk, Mario Tennis Aces also reached 1 million units.
Not surprising. There were people who got suckered in by we have a better story mode. It's still pretty shitty. I'm not gonna lie, it's still a pretty shitty story mode. It's just if the last story mode was nothing, and then they give you a mediocre one. That's better than nothing, but not really. So,
I mean, but it was the first 3D. But it was the first 3D Mario Tennis game that had a story mode because the story mode was exclusive only to the Game Boy versions.
yeah, and it's sad when the Game Boy version, the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance versions had better story mode than something that had a bigger budget and better graphics. That is some sad shit. Nintendo, get your shit together.
What do you expect when they tried to do Melee's story and then do Smash 4?
Yeah.
I'm curious, how is it any better than Mario Tennis Aces story? Because I have this feeling that it has a very simple plot, because usually when people say it has a better story, that means it has more complexity or character.
Well, actually, no, I take that back. The story. I take that back. The handheld Mario sports games are more like an RPG with sports elements, like Mario Golf, Mario Tennis. So you play a normal tennis game, but if you fail or succeed, you get experience points, and then you can level up. And when you level up, you can choose a stat to grow. So if you're playing Mario Golf in the handheld, you can make your drive stronger. You can make your control stronger. So let's say you make it so that you can hit these long drives, but that makes your control suck. So it's you kind of have to make a decision on do I want to have really long drives, or do I want to have a lot of control, shorter drives but better control, so I can put the ball exactly where I want it, or do I want to hit it really far away? There's a lot of
choice
nuance.
There's a lot of situations that you have to decide on whether it's good to go for a longer game, shorter game, or somewhere in between.
Yeah, it forces you to actually make strategic choices. Whereas in Mario Tennis on the Wii U and the Switch, it's the story mode is basically a fucking glorified
tutorial and
tutorial.
If I think about it, it's like trying to go through Mario levels.
The Wii U didn't have a story mode at all. It was barely.
You're right. It didn't. That's what I'm saying. The story mode is mediocre on the Switch, but it was completely non-existent on the Wii U. But in both cases, it's I think they could have done better. You can legitimately tell with some of the games that Nintendo has been porting onto the Switch, they were shit, we got to put something out there. And they were can we get this done in the next 6 months? And that's what it feels like to me. Now, I'm not in the boardroom, I'm not in the development studio, but I can look at the results. I can look at the end results and see, okay, this feels like it was a quick and dirty port. This feels like they didn't do a lot of work on this. This feels like
which one has effort and which one is a push.
But here's the thing. Even when Nintendo's half-assing it, it's better when other companies half-ass it. When Microsoft half-asses it, you get the Xbox One.
Oh.
So it's like there's different levels of. It's would you rather have your hand slammed would you rather have your hand get stepped on accidentally, or be kicked in the balls by an elephant? It's
pick your poison.
It's one is inherently not as bad as the other. And that's basically how it feels with, I mean, you know, look, listen, the Switch is selling really well, and that's great. But just because the Switch is selling well doesn't mean I'm going to ignore some of the
mishaps,
worrisome things that Nintendo has been doing. Because that would not be fair. Because here's the thing, this is BS Busters. If I call out Microsoft on bullshit and Sony on bullshit,
Nintendo's going to have something to be called out on too.
if they do something that's bullshitty, then I can't be like, that big cow pat that's right there. I'm gonna ignore it because it came from my favorite cow. I can't do that.
Though, if anything, give Nintendo credit that they're trying to minimize it.
Of course, like I said, their bullshit isn't nearly as bad or as smelly as Sony's or Microsoft's bullshit. Like Sony's
at least give them credit for trying to keep it small.
Sony's whole Gran Turismo will not have microtransactions a year later. Okay, we're putting microtransactions in Gran Turismo.
Oh, you probably heard of EA's free game offers going away, right?
Yeah, but I mean that's not really surprising. I mean,
I was wondering if somebody mentioned it.
Well, people have mentioned it. It's just like here's the thing. Most of as someone who has a few of those games from the EA Origin free game program, here's the thing. In order for you to take advantage of those free games, you have to install Origin. Origin basically monitors your gaming habits so that EA can take that information and use it to sell you shit that you don't want. And plus, most of the games on their free game, hey, this game's free, is bullshit. Like the only things I got for it was the original SimCity 2000 from back in the day. I think like
I was going to say they had 34 games that were free.
Yeah, but it was like over time. It was like they'd offer something and then it would go off the thing. So you just but a lot of it was shit that just was not interesting. It's like, yeah, you can get this shitty version of Tetris from you guys. No,
they did have Jade Empire.
And if I didn't already have that game on Good Old Games, I'd be impressed. But have it on Good Old Games.
Good point.
Not to mention, it's EA. So, like you know when you don't give a shit about a company's products, when even if they're giving you the game for free, you're just like, nah, I'm okay, bro. Your thoughts, Pinky?
Well.
You okay, birthday boy?
Yeah, it's just that I was strolling around looking for other news to discuss.
Well, this is some news. A guy tried to short the stock price of Nintendo, and then Nintendo basically money slapped him in the mouth with their cash. It's like, I bet Nintendo's gonna continue to go on a downward trend. And Nintendo was like, "Oh yeah."
I remember reading that before. There was this guy who made a bet that Nintendo would bet millions of dollars, that Nintendo would lose all that money because of the stock market, because they lost stock.
Yeah, I bet you he based it on the E3 presentation.
No, I mean, look, the dude basically, what the dude was trying to do was he was gonna sell the stock while it was low, and he was betting it was gonna go even lower, so that he could then buy it when it was lower, and then when the stock appreciated, he could then sell it once it was above, highly above what it originally was valued. The problem is that his logic for doing it was stupid. Like his logic was, because he's like, okay, I bet that Nintendo's going to continue. It's like all they have to do is release some like 1 or 2 quality games, like 1 or 2 good games. Hell, they don't even have to release a game. They could have a quality direct between now and Smash Brothers coming out, and boom, their stock price
There
is
goes
going up.
his green.
So, like this was just kind of dumb on his part. But some people are stupid.
As imagined.
So,
And here's some other news. Fire Emblem Heroes has made $400 million worldwide.
and I'm glad I did not contribute to that.
Here.
And one of our commentators mentioned it's becoming more popular than the other than similar mobile games such as Grand Blue and Grand Order.
Well, it's got more name recognition because it's Fire Emblem, but God.
And most of that revenue is coming from the West, actually from Japan at least.
Yep, like I said, they can have it. They can have it.
They can own all that.
They can have that gimped ass shit designed for microtransactions. Me, I will play my 3DS.
Genuine, high quality 3DS or Nintendo Switch quality game of choice.
And also have, for some odd reason, like I could make myself sound superior. It's like, well, my 3DS version doesn't have microtransactions, but it does with DLC.
At least it's usually a one-time DLC.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and one-time purchase, meaning that,
Yeah.
well, you got a better quality still.
I don't know. I find most of those. I know this is going to sound kind of bad. I find most of those mobile games that Nintendo's been releasing to be how can I put this? Shit. Except for Mario Run, that was kind of fun.
I haven't tried that game, thankfully.
Well, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a little
it's like
shitty
a rhythm game.
Mario Run is a shitty version of it basically is kind of like a pared down New Super Mario Brothers where you're just getting coins instead of, other stuff, like without the exploration. It's not terrible, but I mean, I'd rather them put those resources into a New Super Mario Brothers rather than a mobile game.
Well, they're probably making one of the works right as we know it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably. Like here's the thing: the Switch, the pace of releases on the Switch in terms of Nintendo first-party games has slowed down. Because last year was the first year it was out, and so that makes sense that they're gonna be dropping. But now they're gonna have to be dropping at least 2 or 3
titles.
2 or 3 titles a year that people really want. And WarioWare is not cutting it. I mean, like next year they're gonna have a 2D Mario game, probably.
I was gonna say Wario.
Metroid 4.
What?
And Metroid Prime 4.
Maybe. Like, here's the thing.
That's undecided.
Metroid Prime, I'd rather them take their time, but I know it doesn't take years and years to make a 2D Mario game. They can. I'm pretty sure there are people on the Tokyo EAD team that could make one of those damn games in their sleep. It's like I'm asleep, but I'm making a 2D Mario game while I'm asleep, and it would probably be good.
What about Bayonetta 3?
I'm sorry. Like Bayonetta to me always feels like a second tier game. Like they're not bad. They're just not like okay. Let me put it this way: Bayonetta is not going to sell a system. If you have the system that Bayonetta's on, you'll buy it. But it's not like no one's going to be like, oh man, I wasn't going to get a Switch, but I heard Bayonetta was coming out. Like Bayonetta's not going to be a system seller. Although people who have a Switch, and considering by next year they'll probably be at like 25, 26 million, maybe even higher, maybe even closer to 30 million.
And yet you got people port begging for Bayonetta 3 as well as 2 on their 1 and PS4s.
Here's my answer to those people. If they want to do that, then here's what they need to do. They need to go to their favorite console manufacturer and say, give Nintendo however much money they spent to get those games made, and then pay for the rights to use it and get it ported over. Now, good luck with that shit happening.
Because there's a lot of money that you're gonna have to spend for that.
You would do better asking. You can go ask Namco Bandai for, hey, can we get ports of Baten Kaitos 1 and 2? No, you can't. Sorry, Baten Kaitos and Baten Kaitos Origins. No, you can't, because there's exclusivity deals with that. So I mean, you know, they can just keep on hoping. But hey, you know.
And let's see, any other news? The NES Classic was the highest unit-selling hardware platform as of June 2018.
What it sold like what? I think it sold like 1.41 million thus far this year.
When you think of it, that's kind of neat that something so small can sell so much, despite how many scalpers there are.
Well, they've been. Wait, people are still scalping the NES Classic?
I don't know why.
And it's. Huh.
It's your birthday cast, man. Bring up whatever you want.
The Switch version of Undertale is getting a collector's edition.
Yeah, I heard about that. They're getting it made.
And in the collector's edition contains a gold heart medal, that Toriel wore, a booklet, the game itself,
Of course.
some bookmarks, and microfiber cloths.
That's just weird. That's just really weird. Yeah, Pinky.
And to this collector's edition soundtrack.
Well, the Undertale soundtrack is pretty good.
Yeah, like Megalodania being the most popular one of them all.
I don't know which one. I just know that it's kind of good.
You know, Sans' battle theme.
I just find the music to be kind of good. It's not the greatest, but it's pretty good.
And another indie title, Bendy and the Ink Machine, coming to the Switch in physical version, but it's going to be GameStop exclusive.
What's going to be GameStop exclusive?
Bendy and the Ink Machine for the Switch.
Yeah, I'm not getting that. Not because it doesn't look interesting, but because I already have it on PC. So. Oh boy.
And it's coming in Switch, and it's coming on October, so I think that's when the time episode 5 comes out, the final episode of that game.
Whatever. I'm not a major person about episodic content.
They just announced Rocket League Ultimate Edition when I just bought the collector's edition.
Hey man, That was you. You did that. That's why I don't get shit early. I wait and I wait and I wait. That's why you gotta take your time. You gotta wait and wait and wait. You gotta hold back.
And here it contains Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice car pack, Chaos Run DLC pack, DC Superheroes DLC pack, Revenge of the Battle Cars DLC pack, Supersonic Fury DLC pack, Aftershock, Esper, Morador, Masamune, Proteus, Triton, and Vulcan DLC battle cars. Oh, and be right back. My cake is finally here.
All right. Well, there's that's what's been going on, folks. I mean, I'm not really into certain types of titles. I guess I can talk about what I got recently. I got my hands on Yakuza 0. That's right, folks. Yakuza, or 897, which if you translate Yakuza, it's literally 897. Yakuza 0. And from what I've played of it, it's actually pretty damn good. It's a beat 'em up. It's with RPG elements. People get the shit kicked out of them. I've got a video.
Any new mini games introduced?
What?
Any new mini games introduced in Yakuza 0?
I have no idea. I've just started the game. I haven't. I mean, I'm pretty sure there'll be karaoke, batting, bowling, pong, where you're basically trying to look down a girl's kimono at her assets. What else? There's hostess stuff. There's a dance mini game, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. But from what I've played of the game thus far, it's pretty good. It's got the same stuff we like with the Yakuza, which is, you know, beating up random people who fuck with a guy who has a big dragon tattoo on his back. Which literally, if you see a dude in Japan with a big dragon tattoo on his back, don't mess with him because he's probably gonna fuck you up. I mean, look, I am not a graphics whore, but I have this game on PC, and I cranked up my PC settings, and in some of these cutscenes, you can see you can see the pop marks on people's faces. You can see the pores. Their hair doesn't render that well, but they've got facial technology down. Sega does. And the music's pretty good too. Let's see what else.
One of our contributors just recently posted something about an app store, Apple.
Probably how Apple fucking people over.
Touch Arcade, and he says that we can kiss indie gaming on mobile goodbye thanks to the change in the app in their app store.
Well, not really. I mean, if you have if your stuff is on the Apple iStone, but the thing is, like, most indie games don't. The platform where indie mobile games sell the most is on Android. Like, Apple accounts for maybe like 10-15% of the indie sales, so it doesn't matter if they go away or heavily regulated.
Well, it just says here that Apple just killed the app store itself.
I don't think that's necessarily what they meant by that. I think it's more like
shut down the app store.
Well, probably heavily regulated. Probably close up certain loopholes. I don't think they've, oh my God. But that's just me, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't even like Apple. I don't like their products. I think they're scam artists of the highest degree. Oh, I got some news. I recently beat Octopath Traveler.
Congrats.
Yeah, I finally beat it, and it took me about 74 hours, a little bit less than 74 hours. And the game is really good.
As expected. And also I went to Best Buy and I see that Octopath Traveler is still on sale.
What?
The physical copies of Octopath Traveler are still on sale at my Best Buy.
You can find them probably, but
yeah.
My favorite.
And just saying that because I've been hearing a lot, because we've been hearing a lot of stories about physical copies of that game being sold out everywhere in the West.
Well, I think the initial run was so low because basically Square Enix didn't think it was going to sell that well because they're stupid. I mean, for lack of a better word, they're just really fucking stupid. And I think that they were surprised that I mean, who would have thought that, you know, an audience that was raised on RPGs being synonymous with Nintendo home consoles that you fucking abandoned for almost 25 years. Who would have thought that that same audience would want classical JRPGs on a Nintendo home system? I mean, it boggles the mind. It's like if you live in a neighborhood where people are like, we want fresh vegetables that are organic or at least lightly have been lightly sprayed with pesticides. We want a gourmet dining experience, and then like you've got nothing but like garbage and fast food around there, and then finally someone decides to open a fast food place around there, and it's just delicious. And it makes gangbusters. People are like, I can't believe we made money.
How funny that turns out to be so good.
And I've been hearing that the new patch for the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection may be online worse.
You can't use Akuma. And I think in Street Fighter 3 or 2 Alpha or something like that. Like basically, here's the thing, and people got mad at me when I said this, but I knew what I was talking about. Capcom fucked up 3 of their core franchises in 1 year. Okay, well, not in 1 year, but in like a 3-year period. They messed up Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and then the Street Fighter Legacy Collection, like the Anniversary Collection. 3 core, like their core franchises, jacked up in like a 3-year time period.
And I bet you they tried to say this is normal because if anything we made this as best as we can, and yet the fans had other words.
No, they didn't say anything. They didn't say they made it the best they could. See, here's what they did, and here's why, you know, it became the way it did. See, what Capcom did is that they went cheap and they farmed out the development to
a third.
Well, to an outside studios. I don't think these studios are really good at making these types of games, because I mean, like, here's the thing, okay? I don't care how good these other studios are. They don't know how these games are supposed to be balanced, how things are supposed to look. They're not going to have the same care and attention to detail that like Capcom's internal studio is going to have. Here's the thing, though. What the fuck was their internal studio working on when all these different IPs were being ported out to other studios?
Pachinko
like
machines?
Outside studios. No, Capcom doesn't do pachinko. So I don't know. I'm like, was it all hands on deck to get Monster Hunter World off the ground? Like, did they pull other like resources from other studios, like people, like so that they could get Monster Hunter World off the ground to the detriment of Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Infinite, and Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. I don't know. Like,
I say it's more towards Monster Hunter because they really to try to reach out to other systems when they deliberately denied Nintendo.
Yeah, they really needed that game to do well, and it's doing okay, but like
it's not as sharp.
It's not doing as well as they want it to. But I mean, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of like, I don't know where they're going with this. Like, I don't have a clue.
At least Resident Evil 7 did okay, and Mega Man 11 looks like to be a good game so far.
Mega Man RE7 did okay. You're right. It did okay. It didn't like Capcom was expecting that game to sell like 5, 6, 7 million units, and it sold what, 2 million, 2.5. Which, considering that it's on the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC, is it on the PC?
Yeah, on a PC. It's on a PC.
Okay, so 3 platforms, and it sold what, 2.5 million? Here, let me look up the sales because I don't want to say something.
And it's also available on Switch for a limited time in the Japanese Switches.
Yeah, but you're not. That's not. You're renting it. You're not. You're not buying it. You're renting it.
Renting? Please tell me that's not how I think it is.
Okay, I lied. It sold 5.1 million as of March, so that's pretty good. Not great on 3 platforms. Probably the lead platform's PlayStation, because of
I bet
course
you
it would
that's
be on
where it's
PlayStation.
2. I bet you that's where you got the 2 million.
I mean, it's not. There's not a breakdown, but I'm guessing the highest sales is probably on PlayStation, with probably followed by the PC, and then Xbox probably last, because for some reason Microsoft just cannot get their shit
off the
together.
ground.
Yeah.
It's like watching somebody playing level 1 all the time, all the way in the back.
You want to know what we want to see in Microsoft try to run a video game like the Xbox division is like? It's like watching someone play a video game that is damn simple, and they can't even like they keep on making.
They can't get
mistakes.
past World 1-1, right?
Like they're playing Super Mario World, and they're missing jumps. They don't know that you can jump on the giant bullet bills. They don't know how to use a spin jump. Like, just basic shit they can't do.
Ouch.
Yeah.
And these are the people that hardcore fans poke fun at Miiverse.
I guess, I don't know, but
and also one of the reasons why they hate Miiverse.
I mean, like I said, I actually liked Miiverse, so
yeah. Too bad they took that away.
Yeah. Ironically, I liked Miiverse.
Well, I guess that seems about it for all of the video game news since it's in the middle of the week.
Okay, I got another joke. This woman walks in a doctor's office, and she's like, "Well, I'm here to get a checkup." And so the nurse says, "Okay, well, take off your clothes, put on this gown, and get in the stirrups, and get in this chair, and the doctor will be right with you." So, the doctor comes in. He's like, "This woman's really attractive. I'm gonna take a chance." So he he takes his hands and he starts fiddling around with her breasts, and he's like, "Do you know what I'm doing?" And she's like, "No, what?" He's like, "I am giving you I'm giving you a checkup and checking to see if you have heart palpitations." And she's like, "Okay." And then he starts kissing her in the mouth. He's like, He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm giving you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And then he undoes his pants and he starts having sex with her. And he's like, do you know what I'm doing now? And she says, well, actually, I don't know what you're doing, but I do. I know. He says, I know what you're doing. You're giving yourself the clap. So yeah, I didn't have to explain the punchline. But yeah, it's
some things just write themselves.
What?
Sounds pretty rapey.
Well, it's an old dirty joke. It's supposed to be racy. It's supposed to be racy.
So
and
anyway.
there's the reason why some people don't get some jokes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be racy. It's an old dirty joke. I mean, I have clean jokes, but clean jokes are not as fun. Unless you're maybe Bill Cosby, but
that's the one that runs BS Busters.
So anyway, I got some birthday gifts. Three of them are amiibos, with a third one on its way on the mail.
That's cool.
Yeah, they have to be amiibos I've been trying to get in stores, but I wasn't able to get them at the time they were released.
That's okay. Get any games?
I was trying to find Code of Princess as the one game I'm trying to buy today, but my local Best Buy didn't have it available.
Okay.
Supposedly it came out yesterday.
Oh yeah, they probably won't have it. Yeah, GameStop. I've noticed something about big box retailers. If something just comes out, like it's a 50-50 if it'll actually be there. Sometimes. I'm not sure why, but.
Yeah, I'll probably go look at another Target. I'll probably go look for it on Target tomorrow.
Well, knock yourself out.
And of course, one of my friends at Discord is drawing me a Zelda image for my birthday as my birthday gift. The Link Between Worlds version, at least.
Of what?
A Link Between Worlds version. The one they're using in Smash Ultimate.
Oh, the Zelda. All right. Well, if you're a Zelda fan, I mean, personally speaking, I prefer, my favorite version of Zelda is Link to the Past Zelda, just because,
Yeah, because this Zelda is basically more or less based off of A Link to the Past / A Link Between Worlds.
I like my Zelda with red hair. Like, I don't know why they made her blonde, because it's just kind of weird. Plus, blonde is so cliche. But whatever. Like, remember when Princess Peach had red hair?
Yeah, but that was due to graphics limitation.
Nah, man, I think they just didn't want to. They didn't want to give the redhead their day.
Oh.
If that were the case, then they would have made Link blonde, like in a Link to the Past, like he's shown in the official artwork. But yet he's given pink hair, and it's actually due to the graphics limitations.
Well, because the red that they could have shown would have been red that was not quite right. But I mean, personally, just from artwork, I liked Link when he had red hair. It's weird to me that he now has.
Well, Link originally had brown hair.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like brown. It was like a reddish brown back in the day, and then it became like, like red for because in Ocarina of Time his hair was more reddish, like a reddish gold than blonde. And then when he's a kid, then he's an adult, he's got blonde hair, and then he just became over the years blonde, which is kind of weird to me. I mean, I liked him when he had red hair. I'm glad they took him back to having kind of a darker colored hair in Twilight Princess and such, and Ocarina of Time, and not Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. But then again, I don't really like blonde people. Not that there's anything wrong with blonde people. It's just, the whole, blonde-haired, blue-eyed thing.
Sounds racist.
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of people.
Certain variants of Link sometimes appeals to others.
Yeah.
Apparently, he likes his Links red.
Yeah. I also like red-haired Zelda.
Well, at least palette swaps exist, which changes Link's hair color.
Yeah, makes everyone happy.
Even Zelda in Smash Ultimate has a brown hair palette swap.
Yeah, because that's how she used to look. I mean, I just, you know, it's like it's kind of like I remember when Mario had brown hair, and then they changed it.
He still has brown hair.
Really? I thought it was black these days. No, it's brown. His mustache is black, which is weird.
Black
He's got brown
stash,
hair.
Brown hair.
Yeah, I think he's dying his stash. That's what I think.
It's a video game, and it doesn't apply to logic.
Come on, man. You can't say that to me. Not with all the stuff you like. That doesn't make sense.
I was gonna say
That's illogical.
the bros dye their stashes, yet they have brown hair.
That's only if a series is trying to be as grounded as possible.
Yeah,
Like
man, these are people who suck themselves into pipes and hitting folks with hammers and
Jump on bricks.
Jump on and punch bricks. Punch bricks. I wish someone would try and punch a brick and see how happy they're going to be after they punch that brick. Because I tell you right now, if you try and punch a brick, like don't believe that shit you see where people in martial arts. Yes, I can punch this brick. Yeah, good luck with that, son.
You're gonna be sore as fudge.
Before someone says, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," listen. I practiced Muay Thai for 7 years. Okay. I know a little something about people breaking bricks with their bare hands. Not that I've ever done it. I had the offer, but I was like, hell no.
You refused.
That's some bullshit. But it's all bullshit. You look at the people who do that shit for real. Their hands are all jacked up. Their knuckles are just jacked. It's not a good thing. Or those people that break break
clay
stuff with their not clay. They break boards and you know they let people hit them in the leg with bamboo. Their shins are jacked. Like they have nerve damage in their legs. And that's how they can do that. So no, thank you.
You want to be able to feel what's going on.
Yeah, like I have no want nor desire to have nerve damage in my legs. That's not cool, bro.
Do you think perhaps Ryu has nerve damage?
Well, if you were going for a realistic interpretation of Ryu, I mean, there's something wrong with a dude whose sole purpose is just to go around fighting people. Like he doesn't have an education. He doesn't really have a job. He just fights.
He just travels the world and does a punch or two.
You know, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Doesn't have a girlfriend, not really, which I'm kind of worried about.
Ken Masters has somebody with him.
Yeah, Ken Masters got married, so like he's got a kid too.
Well, if you watch Sakura's story mode in Street Fighter V, there was
but isn't Sakura like a 16-year-old girl?
No, she's now old. She's now legal and has a job now.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't like Ryu like in his like mid to late 40s now?
Yeah.
Isn't that just a little too fucking creepy?
Well, the good news is Ryu did not catch on to Sakura's meaning.
Yeah, because the only thing he cares about is fighting, which tells you there's something wrong with this motherfucker.
He's too focused.
I mean, I can get behind Ken, because he's like, look, yeah, I'm all for this fighting shit, but hey, man, I'm married, I got a wife, I got a kid. Yeah, I'm the world's strongest. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get back to my hot wife. Excuse me. like even Guile's like, yeah, man. I mean, I want to kill Bison just as much as the next person, but mean, I'm Colonel Guile. I need women too. I'm not married.
What about Chun-Li? She has a hard time getting hit on by men.
Yeah, that's because she just used that flutter
A spinning bird kick and
that fluttering
and those 100 kicks.
yeah that 100 kick and
Or
they're
those
done.
thunder thighs.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, what a way to go. If you're a male combatant, she hits you with that kick. It's like, I saw it. It was worth it. Like in Street Fighter 2, the movie where Vega gets kicked through a wall. I'm like, yeah, man, you got kicked through a wall, but it was totally worth it. Worth it.
Yeah, he got a good view, and then he got booted out.
It's totally look. I don't care what anyone says. That was totally worth. Well, I mean, you know, yeah, he's in a coma, but I mean,
you mean you want to be booted out of the area by her like
she is
that?
attractive. I mean, you know, Chun-Li is really hot. Although, if you watch Street Fighter the movie, it seems like she has more of a relationship with Guile, which actually makes sense because Guile has a much better car. I mean, he has a car. I don't even think Ryu knows how to drive. So, like, you know, I mean, look, man, look. I mean, I don't know how you expect to get women when all you do is wear that funky ass gi. We've never seen him wash that gi. We don't
have a change.
I mean, he's just got that little bag.
But isn't that the same movie where they show Ryu and Ken skinny dipping?
Not really. No.
Not that I know of.
No, I think you're thinking Street Fighter 2. The movie's animated, and there's no skinny dipping. The only kind of risque thing you see is Chun-Li using her flooding her 100 kick on Vega, and you can see her underwear. And
in the Justice version, you can see her nipples.
Yeah, you do kind of see a hint of her nips, but that's nothing of her nipples. But I mean, you know, she is in a dangerous fight, and she's doing the best she can to survive. So, you know, it's nothing really. So, but hey, you know, what do I know? I'm just a guy who likes Street Fighter, the movie.
Oh yes, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap things up. We forgot to talk about Teen Titans Go to the movies. Apparently, it's actually better than people thought.
Oh yeah. The only problem is that they made it because people are still hating it. Because people want the Teen Titans they grew up with. They don't want this shit, and I don't blame them because I wouldn't want it either.
And
here's something that confuses me. These same critics panned the My Little Pony movie, which is another 2D movie, yet they praised the Teen Titans Go movie.
What?
I disagree. I think the My Little Pony movie was shit, and the Teen Titans movie was shit. They both were pretty shitty.
But these are our only two chances to bring back 2D animation back into theaters.
I'd rather risk the beeping loss of them than have that beeping movie be represented of 2D beeping animation.
The Teen Titan movie is just a lot of how can I put this? Well, the Teen Titans movie is essentially just a lot of it's literally just them calling shots at themselves almost. You know, just talking mad shit about themselves. But
they're literally insulting each other or roasting.
Well, no, they're talking shit about themselves. Like they talk so much shit like in that movie, like it's not even funny really. But
that's sad. At least the other movie that was 2D had a story and actually had something going for it.
But here's what I'm going to say, and here's what people seem to have forgotten, is that there's absolutely no goddamn reason. Damn, I made a mistake on that one. There's no reason for there's no reason for like 2D animation is good, and I like it just as much as the next person. But like, you can't just make 2D animation and be like, you should support it because it's 2D animation. That's like saying you should support.
Where's quality, for Pete's sake?
You should support this movie because it has people of color in it, but it's a shitty movie. Well, that's not important.
You should support this movie because it's not based on any other previous source material like comic books or TV shows or another remake or reboot or a sequel.
Or you should support this movie. You should support this movie because it has people of color in it. It's like, that is not.
I'm going to say this. That's as stupid as a reason as Starfire looking like a peeping hooker.
Yeah, she does look like a hooker. I'm like, who was in charge of this? Who is in charge of this?
Cannot be the same guy who was in charge of Iron Fist.
Iron Fist?
Scott Buck?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it wasn't Scott Buck. It would be cool if it was Scott Buck, but it was not Scott Buck.
I was going to say, that could explain a lot if that was true.
No, it was not Scott Buck. It would be cool if it was, but it was not. I would be laughing my ass off if it was Scott Buck, but it was not. I don't know who's in charge of the new Teen Titans, but my God, fuck Batman. Really? Let's see. You seriously want to go with that? It's like no one learned their lesson at DC from the Zack Snyder debacle. It's like no one learned. It's like, you know what? Maybe we should just make a good movie.
Let's see. One side we got the Teen Titans Go, which is total trash, and then we got the upcoming Titans, which is not looking so good.
And I take it the TV show is going to be TVMA because.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be MA, but they got Robin saying "fuck Batman," which is weird because like Robin is the adopted son of Batman. Now, I mean, this is Tim Drake. I mean, no, the Robin who eventually will grow up to be
Dick Grayson.
Yeah, Dick Grayson, and they do have kind of a complicated relationship, but this is kind of like your adopted father who, gave you a ton of money, made you wealthy. I mean, yeah, he trained you to be
a psychopathic hero.
Well, that's Damian Wayne, but yeah, he trained your ass to fight. But hell, you can take care of yourself. It's like, look, you should be like me. My parents were killed, and I never got over it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, oh boy.
With that said, I just have everything I had to say for today.
All right.
Anyway, that works for us.
So, anything anyone wants to pimp out before we wrap things up? Anything.
Not that I know of, unless you count in the new stuff that came into Splatoon. But that's about it.
Okay, I'll pimp something out. I am currently working on a review, like an in-depth review of Octopath Traveler. I will be making that. I'll be making that video this week and releasing it sometime towards the end of this week. So look forward to that. And I will be giving an in-depth review, so there will be spoilers and junk like that.
When I get far enough into Octopath Traveler myself, I'll do it beyond level 1. Though, if anything, I might have to make an exception of adding level 1 into my review because, well, there's 8 different ways of starting Octopath Traveler.
Kind of. It's not really 8 different ways of starting. Like you pick a start character, and then in order for you to like get other characters, you're gonna have to go through their thing. So you're gonna have to see it through their viewpoint, which is actually kind of cool. In my humble opinion, it's
Yeah, but my reviews are usually that you start the review beyond the first level, meaning that the moment you get into level 2 of any game or get past the first boss of the game. And that's why I was saying I might have to make an exception because, well, there's different first bosses you have to take care of.
kind of, but it's like you have to go through their own little thing.
Each of them have a chapter 1, I know.
But that's neither here nor there. It will be in depth. You will learn some stuff. You will learn, or else, I swear it. I sound like what's his name? That asshole from Man of Steel. I will find him. I will kill him.
General Zod.
He will die. Yeah, Michael Shannon is a good actor. He was a shitty General Zod, and that movie was terrible. And anyone who defends that shit, we got a problem, bro.
I was going to say, was it really that bad?
Man of Steel? Yes, it was that bad.
Ugh.
It was pretty damn terrible.
They try to be an antithesis of what to make a good, what to be a Superman movie, with its gritty realism. Even though it uses aliens rather than being much as grounded as the Nolan films.
It was not an antithesis of
a Superman movie.
It was just some shit that Zack Snyder put together because he's like, yeah, I want to make a Superman movie, but I don't want to get why people like Superman because fuck that.
Yeah, that probably would make even the Justice League look better in comparison.
Which is weird to me. Like, I don't know why you would make a Superman movie
not based on Superman
and have a shitty Superman. Like, literally one of the worst Superman like representations of that character I've ever seen. It's pretty bad. But yeah, oh god, that movie is so bad.
Maybe Octopath Traveler could get that sourness out of your mouth.
No, I already beat it, so I don't know. I will never.
If you didn't grab everything, then I'm guessing that there is at least more to do in it.
No, I did all the side quests. The last side quest you have to do in the game is actually tied to the main last like final boss you have to fight. So like I did all the side quests, beat the game, did everything, 100%ed it. So
dang.
Little like 75 hours. I mean, like 75 hours is no joke. Like that's a pretty decent.
That's a full out weekend.
Well, no, I mean if you're looking at like a few hours every
day.
Yeah, every day. So, you know, it's really like since I got it, I basically like on the weekend I'd basically go in and play the hell out of it. But typically speaking, I was just playing a little bit at a time.
I was thinking that's at least 2 weekends worth of work at least.
Yeah, roughly. But I mean, like here's the thing. This is one of my favorite games. It's a throwback. It's a throwback. I think in terms of just its sheer RPG-ness, I like it better than say Xenoblade Chronicles, because Xenoblade Chronicles is good, but it's like there's certain parts of Xenoblade Chronicles that are like, okay, you're trying too hard, like way too goddamn hard.
Yeah.
And that's not good. I don't like it. I don't like it. No, sir. I don't like it. Not one bit. No, sir. No, sir. Not at all. I don't like people trying too hard in video games. But anyway. Okay. So yeah, I will be giving a review of Octopath Traveler sometime this week. So look forward to that. And as soon as I As soon as I get out of this,
We should say our sign-offs.
yeah.
This is Piggy Dog from Video Game Facts. I recently posted an article talking about Kirby lore after beating Kirby Star Allies yesterday.
Yeah, I read it. It was very interesting.
I need to read that myself.
Yeah. And Joel. All right. I guess I'll give my sign off. It's Mr. Red Fox here, owner, proprietor of BS Busters. This is a BS Buster mini cast.
Sorry, I was called for a moment.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all ages, this is your regular Moonstar signing off for the special BS Busters. And of course, almost forgot, happy birthday, Pinky.
You're welcome. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go get my ice cream cake right now.
Go ahead, birthday boy.
Yeah. Good night, folks.
And hype responsibly.